Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host. Just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. College football week 12. We're going to do Friday and Saturday together as we didn't have a show earlier in the week. A little lighter this week on college football, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A total of 5 games. So Friday and Saturday, we've got a monster slate of games, so we'll get into them. If you're new to our show or been here plenty of times before, welcome aboard. Appreciate you having you along. Couple small things here. All of our shows brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. 7-day free trial, comment section, and YouTube channel page. Also, our Discord channel. If you want to get all of our bets early, like you could have been sitting on these college football bets for a few days and get ahead of line moves, juice moves, join a couple 100+ members who love doing the same thing that you do, and that's called sports wagering. Get in the Discord, also same 2 spots, YouTube channel page, and also in the comments section of the show. So let's get started. Friday games. We've got a couple of these to get started off with. Clemson and Louisville. Good luck figuring this one out, right? To start us off at 8 o'clock Eastern time frame. Let's see. Louisville favored by 2.5 here over Clemson, 50.5 total. Louisville looked really good until last week, and Clemson has started off horrible. Again, all of a sudden now winning some games in this, winning some games. And we do like Clemson. This line has come down from the 3.5 to the 2.5, but we'll still take Clemson here. We did take Clemson plus the points. Clemson plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 53.5 for the game. And next game up, Oregon. And this line's going the wrong way for everybody as well here at 9 o'clock Eastern time frame. Oregon at home facing Minnesota. Oregon really hasn't seemed to been themselves since they got beat at home against Indiana. But this line was 23.5 earlier in the week. Now it's up to 25.5. And I think it's still Oregon's still the right side of this thing. Oregon minus 4.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, and 23.5 for the game. Then we'll get into the Saturday, 10 Eastern time frame. Let's get started with a little Notre Dame and Pitt. Notre Dame on the road, 12.5 point favor here, 54.5 total. One thing that's been kind of interesting is we haven't seen the weather really change that much yet. Does it change here in Pittsburgh? This total's actually come down, so there might be a little thing. Just keep your eyes on weather as we're only a couple weeks, less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. So normally we see some weather by now. Notre Dame, like I said, favored by 12.5, 54.5 total. We do like the over in this particular game. Notre Dame over 9.5 first quarter, 27.5 first half, and 54.5 for the game. Next game up, we got another barn burner. South Carolina and A&M. So South Carolina really hasn't scored that much all season long. Sellers really hasn't gotten going. I don't really understand their offense. When you have the 2 big dudes on the outside that can fly, why is not a 9 pattern like something you see every play? Texas A&M, does anybody else – I know they're undefeated and they're the best team in the SEC record-wise right now. Does anybody else feel they're the best team in the SEC? I'm struggling with this one. I really don't. I mean – I really do. But they have shown some spots where they do look like they're the best team in the SEC. Just don't trust them. But we do like the over in this thing. This thing's also shot up. It was 47.5, now 49.5. I still think this game's played in the 50s. So A&M, South Carolina, over 7.5 first quarter, 23.5 first half, 47.5 for the game. Next game up, Wisconsin and Indiana. As they seem to be front-loading this schedule here on Saturday morning, don't they? So this game here, so Wisconsin can't score. Let's just go over that one. Indiana's defense is good. Wisconsin's defense is not god-awful. They've held some teams now. The bigger scoring teams like Ohio State, I think they held to, 31? But if they can hold Indiana to 31, I think this game easily comes under that 44.5, and that's where we're playing it. Wisconsin, Indiana under 9.5 first quarter, 22.5 first half, 44.5 for the game. Next game up. Why not a little Arizona and Cincinnati? Cincinnati favored by what we're looking at 6 roughly now, 56.5 total here. Cincinnati got their butt beat on the road by BYU. That was kind of coming. Arizona's been winning a couple games, probably maybe unexpectedly here, but Cincinnati should be favored by more than 6. They were favored by this much against Iowa State, who I think is better than Arizona. Cincinnati minus a half first quarter, 3.5 a first half, and a 6 for the game. Next game up, South Florida and Navy. Noon Eastern time frame. South Florida on the road, favored by a big number here, 10 for them. I don't think the 10's near enough against Navy. Their offense is spectacular. They just got to basically, if they can stop Navy on 4 drives, this is a cover. I don't think Navy's going to be able to shut them down probably at all. We do like South Florida in this one quite a bit. Minus a half first quarter, 5.5 first half. We actually got it at 10.5 for the game and feel real comfortable in that spot there. Next game up, Kansas State, Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Kansas State laying 19.5, 50.5 total in this one. This line's actually come down. I guess they don't think Oklahoma State's going to score, or is it maybe weather in the forecast? We make these plays earlier in the week. We know there's a little bit of gamble there, but we're trying to get ahead. Sometimes we're on the wrong side of the move. Sometimes, more times than not, we're on the right side of it. We do like the over in this Kansas State game, though. Give us a little K-State, Oklahoma State over 7.5 first half, 26.5. I'm sorry, 7.5 first quarter, 26.5 first half, and 52.5 for the game. Next game up, Air Force and UConn. Like I said, these games just loaded up in the morning. This one at noon Eastern as well. UConn currently at 7.5, 63.5 here total. This line's went up a smidge. We're on the hook now. We were at 7 a little bit earlier in the week. We do like UConn quite a bit in this spot. We played them UConn minus a half first quarter, 3.5 first half, and 7 for the game. Next game up, UTSA and Charlotte. Another noon Eastern masterpiece. Seems like we're on every noon game, at least some way. I don't know. Some days it just seems like we're on that on college football Saturdays, right? Charlotte getting 17.5 at home. The total at 58.5. This number's come down just a shade. We had 59.5 earlier in the week. UTSA Charlotte over 9.5 first quarter, 30.5 first half, 58.5 for the game. Next game up, Eastern Michigan and Ball State, noon Eastern time frame. Ball State getting 2.5 at home. Power rankings suggest here Eastern Michigan win, but man, I tell you what, their offense is so bad. I don't know how you get there. So we had to go against the power ranking here. Ball State money line first quarter, money line first half, and money line for the game. Next game up, Arkansas LSU. We're finally at 12:45 Eastern time frame. We get off the noon. LSU favored by 5.5 here over Arkansas. Total in this one, 57.5. I'm gonna tell you right now, being an Arkansas game, you would think an easy over here, but LSU's offense and their defense is a little bit better. Their defense is a little bit better than what Arkansas's probably got to provide offensively. And I think they're going to figure out how to score some points this week. LSU minus a half first quarter, 3 first half, and 5.5 for the game. West Virginia and Arizona State. Next game up at 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Finally, a game I think we're not on, right? Yeah, we're not on this one. Go figure. West Virginia, though, has, they've had a couple really good games this season, but most of the season has been a little bit below probably what they're looking for. Arizona State, though, 11.5 here. We'd have to lean to West Virginia plus the points. No play for us. Oregon State, Tulsa at 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. This is another one we were like, only 2.5 here? I know Oregon State's bad, but so is Tulsa. No play for us in this one. Would lean to the Oregon State side of things, but nothing for us to get too excited about in that one there. Next game up, North Texas and UAB. North Texas on the road laying 17.5, 2 o'clock Eastern time frame in this one. UAB is just, 68.5 was where the total sits in this thing. We like North Texas in this one. I know the line's come down since we played it. We played it 18.5. We liked it there. North Texas minus 2.5 first quarter, 9.5 first half, 18.5 for the game. We also like the total at 69.5, and that came down a point. North Texas UAB over 13.5 first quarter, 34.5 first half, 69.5 for the game. Next game up. How about a little Marshall and Georgia State? No play for us in this one either. Georgia State getting 7.5 at home. Marshall's been one of those. They haven't beat the teams they're supposed to beat. This is a game Marshall should win by 10 plus, but they haven't been covering these type of games. We'd probably lean Marshall, but don't really like to. Colorado State, New Mexico, laying 14.5 at home, 53.5 total. 3 o'clock Eastern time frame in this one. Oh my goodness, right? Like, really? Not seem like a lot of points? Does to me. Seems like a heck of a lot of points. No play for us here either. Would slightly lean Colorado State, even though I wouldn't want to. UTEP, Missouri State. Missouri State at home, laying 4.5, 48.5 total at 3 o'clock Eastern time frame. No play for us either. Would lean to Missouri State, though. Then we'll get into the 3:30 Eastern time frame window. Bama, Oklahoma to lead this off. Bama up to a 6-point favorite now, 45.5 total. We really like us some under in this one. Here's the reason why. Oklahoma's defense is good. Are they going to shut down Alabama completely? No. But Oklahoma's offense has not been that great lately either. Line's down to 45, right around 45.5. Bama was at 5.5. We actually like a side and a total in this one. Bama minus a half first quarter, 3 first half. 5.5 for the game. Bama and Oklahoma under 9.5 first quarter, 23.5 first half, and then 45.5 for the game. Next game up, USC and Iowa. This line's also went up a little bit here. Out in Southern California, 3:30 Eastern time frame. Southern California not favored by a touchdown, 48.5 total for us in this one. USC is the way we went. At 6.5, this thing does differ at 7. It's not as big a bet at 7, but still, we do like that play. I think USC's got a chance to win here by 2 touchdowns. They should be able to slow down that Iowa run game. Iowa's very one-dimensional, and USC is definitely not. USC minus a half first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6.5 for the game. Next game up, NC State, Florida. No play for us in this particular one. Florida laying 14.5. Have a hard time trusting them as of late, but probably would have to go that way with the Hurricanes. 3:30 Eastern time frame as well. We've got Texas Tech, UCF. Texas Tech comes off that monster win last week at home against BYU. They're laying 23.5 here. It's a number they should be able to cover against UCF. Just no play for us in that one. We think it's a little tight. I thought they won by 24-28, which is a little too close to the line for us. Georgia Tech, Boston College, 3:30 Eastern time frame. Georgia Tech, they should just crush Boston College, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they win by 21 here? No play for us, but would lean to the Yellow Jackets. Virginia and Duke. Duke actually laying 4.5 at home against Virginia. If Duke does not turn the ball over, they win by 2 touchdowns. If Duke turns the ball over, they lose. Pretty much simple as this game gets. No play for us because that turnover is going to play way too large in a Duke game, but would lean slightly to Duke. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State favored by a touchdown at East Lansing. 50.5 is now the total. This thing's went up a point. We do like the over here with Penn State and Michigan State over 9.5 first quarter, 23.5 first half, and 49.5 for the game. Maryland and Illinois. In Champaign, right? 15.5 point favorite here for the Fighting Illini. Maryland's been good at those games where they don't win, but they figure out a way to cover. I think this is the same case here. We're not playing this one at 3:30 Eastern time, but do like Illinois to win, but Maryland cover. James Madison and App State at 3:30 Eastern time frame. James Madison, this line's went from 20.5 to 21. JMU, we're on them. We love them. JMU minus 3.5 first quarter, 10.5 first half, and 20.5 for the game. Next game up, Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. We will pass. And then next game up, Nevada, San Jose State. This one gets a little interesting, right? San Jose State, though, laying 9.5 on the road. We think the number's a little bit too big, but we don't trust Nevada for basically about anything. So no play for us in that one either. Texas State and Southern Miss, though, we are involved in 3:30 Eastern time frame. Southern Miss down to 3-point favorite. They were 4. A lot of love for Texas State here. If this was last year, I understand why, or the year prior. Southern Miss has played really good, especially at home. We like them laying the points here. We took them at 4 and thought we were getting a bargain. Even better for you at 3. Southern Miss -0.5 first quarter, 2 first half, and 4 for the game. Next game up. Let's see here. South Alabama, ULM. Nothing really to write home for us in this one at 3:30 Eastern time. South Alabama, the favorite. They probably should be. Wouldn't be shocked if they win by a touchdown. Florida Atlantic and Tulane. So a little FAU, Tulane. Man, I thought they were going to be just as great as they were the year previously. It's been close, just not quite there. 17.5, they should be able to cover that number, but no play for us in that one. 4 o'clock Eastern time frame. We're in this one. Memphis at East Carolina. 2 offenses that love to score. That is for damn sure. And that's what we're playing in this one. Actually, the lines come down in this one to 57.5. I'll be really honest with you. I expect both teams to be in the 30s. East Carolina laying 3, we'd probably lean that way because they've been really solid at home. But over's the way to go here. Over 13.5 first quarter, 28.5 first half, 58.5 for the game. Next game up, New Mexico State and Tennessee. Tennessee favored by almost 40 here. We're going to pass on this one. Then at 4:30 Eastern time frame, North Carolina and Wake Forest. 2 teams that don't really score the ball really well. And that's why we're seeing a 38.5 total here. And we're on the under 7.5 first quarter, 20.5 first half, 38.5 for the game. Next game up, Liberty at FIU. FIU getting points at home against Liberty. Now, Liberty's been really good for a few years. This year has not been their year. They've been decent, but they haven't been covering numbers and winning games. This is FIU money line here. I think they win this game outright at home. FIU money line, first quarter, first half, and game. Next game up, Coastal Carolina, my apologies, 7 o'clock Eastern time frame against Georgia Southern. Coastal getting 3.5 on the road here, but the number we like better than that is actually Coastal on the money line. Coastal money line, first quarter, first half, and game. I think they win that game straight up. Next game up, Ole Miss and Florida. We'd love to play in this one, but I think Ole Miss wins by a couple touchdowns. It's hard to figure what you're going to get from Florida as well. Ole Miss favored by 12.5, 53.5 total in this one. No play for us in this particular one. Slightly lean to that Ole Miss way. Utah and Baylor next up at 8 o'clock Eastern time frame. Utah is now up to an 8.5 point favorite. This thing was 7.5. It's getting a little crazy. Utah's good. They're good. I mean, we've seen them play some really good games. They crapped Cincinnati out. They lost to BYU. That was kind of a bum game for them. But we do like Utah in this spot. Utah -0.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, 7.5 for the game. Next game up, Purdue and Washington at 8 o'clock Eastern time frame. So it's that time of year where it should rain all the time in Seattle. Totals down to 51.5. Washington 16.5 point favorite. This thing was 53.5 just a couple days ago. I think we're going to continue to see this thing go down. Under's the way to play it here. Under 10.5 first quarter, 27.5 first half, and 53.5 for the game. Utah State and UNLV. So if you like scoring, this will be your game here. Totals actually come down. I'm shocked. I think a lot of people are anticipating unders are going to start coming in. 7 o'clock Eastern time frame here as well. We like the over here quite a bit. As UNLV can't stop anybody, Utah State can't stop anybody. So over 14 the first quarter, 35.5 first half, 70.5 for the game. It's down to 68.5, even better for you. Sam Houston and Delaware. This line's moved a little bit. Was 10.5, now 10. And Sam Houston. I just don't think Delaware scores enough points to pull away. And Sam Houston on the road, not saying they win, but they keep it within the 10. 3.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, 10 for the game. Biggest game of the day might result at 7:30 Eastern time in Athens, Georgia, hosting Texas. Which Texas team are we going to see? I think we're going to see a good defensive battle here, but I think Georgia's got more than enough firepower. Texas needs to win this game or the Texas A&M game probably to make the playoff. Georgia needs this game. They need a big-time victory to put in the bank as well. We do like Georgia in this spot. Normally we're first quarter, first half, except when it boils down to Georgia, because they've started off for years. The first quarter has been dead, just costly. So Georgia minus 2.5 first half, 5.5 for the game. This up to 6.5 already, like I mentioned before. Next game up, UCLA, Ohio State, a game we'd really like to play in, 7:30 Eastern time frame, but we're going to skip. This thing went to 31.5, and I'm not willing really to pay for the juice anymore at the alternate on this game. Do like Ohio State. I think they got a great chance to cover by 5 touchdowns here. They kind of pedaled around with Penn State a little bit. They should be able to shut UCLA out pretty much. The total is only 47.5, so they're not anticipating UCLA scoring much here. Basically around 7 to 9 points. But do like Ohio State to cover. Virginia Tech, Florida State. VTech's been god-awful. Florida State's a 14-point favorite in this thing. It was 13.5. We did play Florida State here. They normally beat up the bad teams. 2.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, 13.5 for the game. Next game up, Mississippi State and Missouri in Columbia, 7:45 Eastern time frame. Missouri laying a touchdown. This was 7.5. It's coming back down a little bit. Mississippi State's actually covered quite a few numbers. That's why we like them in this particular spot here. Give us Mississippi State plus 1.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. And let's see, a little Jacksonville State, little Kennesaw State. We've been on Jacksonville State like all year long. They've done nothing but basically cash for us all the time as they keep getting in points in spots where they probably should be favored. We do like Jacksonville State here, plus 3 and a hook. I know it's down to 3, but still worth the play. Plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. We're going to skip over TCU and BYU. I do think BYU wins. Boise State and San Diego State will be the last game that we're on. Boise State, this line's come down. Now it's down to 1.5. This thing was, 3.5 earlier in the week. I think I like San Diego State's team. Boise State, though, can cause a lot of problems for San Diego State. Boise State plus a half first quarter, plus 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. I guess at plus 1.5 right now, you might as well play a money line and try to get a little plus money on that one there. Wyoming and Fresno State. We do like Fresno, but we're not going to touch that one with the 10-foot pole. All right, that's a rundown of college football Friday and Saturday for Week 12. If you like the content you're seeing here, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, like the episode, share it with a friend. Shows a lot of, whether it's my show or anybody else's, shows a lot of love for the creators out there by doing so. We greatly appreciate it. All of our shows here on YouTube brought to you by Outlier, the world's #1 sports betting app out there. If you want to get great bet ideas, if you want to see where the cheapest odds for your bets are at the books that you shop with, you want to know where the money's coming in on the books and bet all those bets from one spot instead of having to go from app to app to app, you can do so in Outlier, 7-day free trial in the comments section as well as the YouTube channel page. And as always, our Discord channel is available for any of you all out there. Link is in the comments section and YouTube channel page. Join a couple 100+ members that love doing the same thing that you do, sports wagering, and get all of our bets early so you can get ahead of those line moves and juice moves as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.